Well, hello, my beloved. This is Doc, aka Nigel Johnson, Reverend Doctor, and all the rest of that stuff. In any case, it's early in the morning where I'm at. Very early. It's the next day, matter of fact. A lot of things in my mind. We have the shootings that took place in Florida this week, and how the fake news showed one thing, and then how the Christian news showed something completely different. What I'm regarding to is, or what I'm referring to, is the announcement of President Trump and how he felt and what he said about the shooting. Now, on the CNN, or the fake news, they basically didn't say anything about, or took out what he said about this nation needs to get back to God. They need to humble themselves and pray. They left all that out. They just basically made Trump look like he didn't care. Meanwhile, on the Christian channel, they pointed out, or they allowed him to speak clearly, and he talked about how this nation needs to get back to God, and how the events of the shootings, the massacre in Florida, was a force of evil, that it wasn't, as they were telling it, or they're calling it mental illness. The only mental illness there is, and that is the fact that that person was demonically possessed. Name of the demon, lunatic, or I can't even say the word right myself. Lunatic. There we go. It took a lunatic, someone crazy, to do what that person did. No regard for human life whatsoever. So in fake news, they said nothing about getting this nation back to God and that we should pray. But the Christian news brought forth the truth of what Trump said about praying. And that, my beloved, we need to do continuously without ceasing, as the word says. So when you have time to yourself, or when you're with your family, be thankful for the family that you have. No matter how they are to you or how you feel about them, they're here. They weren't in that massacre. And from what I understand, there's been 18 shootings like that so far this year. And we're not even in or completed the second month. So be thankful to God that you have your life, that your family has their life, your friends have their life, and that God is giving everyone another day, another chance to get to know Him and to fall in love with Him, as many of us have. Now on to another subject. From time to time we face trials and tribulations, and Jesus said this would happen to those that follow Him. Well, I'm going through some trials and tribulations myself. But I look at people around me, and I notice how a lot of people will bring up the hurts of their past, not really realizing that they're using that to attempt to hurt the person that's closest to them or loves them. The Bible says, let the past pass. We're not to bring those things up. A lot of times when people are faced with trials and tribulations, they bring those things up. They're still hurting inside, one way or another. And many of them fail to recognize, or don't want to recognize, or they'll say that, no, there's nothing wrong with them. My beloved, forgive me, it's early in the morning. But as I was saying, pray for them, pray for yourself, pray for the strength, guidance, and wisdom needed to get through that situation. And definitely pray for them that they'll have the comforter, that they'll have the peace that surpasses all understanding. And then maybe, more than maybe, but they too will come to be at peace what is truly hurting inside them. Even though they may say that they have forgiven, but they haven't forgotten, it's a good possibility that they have not forgiven. They're still holding on because they're still lashing out at the people around them. Be patient, my beloved. Trust in God, and He'll see you through. Now, as I said earlier, going through some trials and tribulations myself, and then a lot of us get to situations where we trust in God completely. Like it says, one of my favorite scriptures, all scriptures my favorite, but trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not into your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he will direct your paths. My beloved, I live that day by day, and sometimes I don't understand why things are not changing or getting better. Is it a test of my faith? It's a test of the faith of the people around me. Got a mosquito trying to get a little blood out of me. That ain't gonna happen. In any case, what is it sometimes I wonder? But my faith is not going to waver. No matter what anyone says or does to me, I will stay the course. And sometimes you may feel, as I do from time to time, being tossed to and fro, but Jesus said he would never leave me nor forsake me. And I trust in that. So, my beloved, with all these things going on, the mass shootings, the tipsy-turvy way the world is going, the relationships you may or may not be in all things, trust God. Have faith in God. Have faith in his word and the blood which washes away a multitude of sins. And be thankful. Be thankful for what you have in the situation you're in, knowing that it will get better. So until next time, may the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob richly bless you and yours. Thank you for watching.